Alright, hey guys, remember CCG back in the video. With this, we're bringing the updated version of my complete guide for Gladiator Beast. Uploaded a video similar to this a year ago, and we got new support since then, and it's really changed the deck up a lot, so I wanted to drop an updated version for it. This video is going to have 8 combos and 2 different builds. One pure build for the people that just want to play pure Gladiator Beast, and now it's even better than it was before, where basically Test Panther would be your crux. As soon as they were able to negate that, it'd be GG, but now you can play through that. So we have that build, and then we have our Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beast build that is very powerful as well, and that can give you a bit more flexibility in ways that pure Gladiator Beast is not able to. And then you get to decide which one you think is the better build. Let's get started with the first combo. So we're going to get started here with a 2.5 card combo that I think is the most essential combo to know, and then we're going to go over some other combos that I think are also really good to know, but this one is just kind of the go-to one that came out as soon as the support was announced, and I think is essential for you to know. So we're going to get started here. This is the new Gladiator Beast monster, Magister, so its effect is pretty insane. It's arguably the best Gladiator Beast monster that came out of this new support. Basically, at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can shuffle this card into the deck, especially when a Gladiator Beast monster, so obviously the Gladiator Beast effect. But for the most part, you're going to be using this to reveal it and one other Gladiator Beast monster in your hand and special summon both of them. And if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you can add a Gladiator spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And the nice thing is that it says Gladiator there. So as a lot of you Gladiator Beast players know, a lot of the Gladiator Beast spells and traps don't say Gladiator Beast in the name, which makes it hard to search out. So we're going to use Attorix effect. We're going to pitch the Augustus just so that we're able to level modulate. Activate the effect of Magister here in order to search out our Gladiator Beast comeback. Now we can activate comeback and get our Augustus. And because we have 2 level 8 Gladiator Beast monsters, we can go into Tamer Editor, activate Tamer Editor's effect to get our Domitianus. Then we can link away into Test Panther, activate its effect here, and search out our new Gladiator Beast field spell, which is Flavius, Arena of the Gladiator Beast. So we're going to activate this, discard a card in order to search out a Gladiator Beast monster. So we're going to search out our Andal, normal summon it out, activate the effect of Test Panther, get it back out, get it back into the deck, and special summon out Equeste. Use Equeste effect here, get ourselves our Gladiator Beast comeback. So you guys, if you've played Gladiator Beast a lot, you know that Equeste is pretty essential for recycling your comeback. And here we just have easier ways of getting this out. Then we're going to go into the Tamer Editor, get ourselves a second copy of Domitianus, which is a second monster negate. Then we can go into our new Gladiator Beast, Darius. So if this card is link summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or grave, and which is great because this is a Gladiator Beast monster, so that does count as activating a Gladiator Beast effect. So we're going to be doing exactly that, get ourselves the Equeste, and use the effect once again. Then we can go into our Draguses here, activate the effect of comeback, get ourselves Tamer Editor. So this is the nice thing about Gladiator Beast monsters as well, is that a lot of these cards are not a hard once per turn, so we're going to be able to abuse it. Same thing with Gladiator Beast comeback and Tamer Editor. And now we're going to go into Darius here. We're going to link away into our Tri-Brigade, Chariot, the Ominous Omen. And it's just to fill up our grave with a bunch of Gladiator Beast monsters so that we can go into the new boss monster. That's exactly what we're going to do, and we're going to go into Gladiator Beast Claudius here. So this is the new Gladiator Beast boss monster of the deck. It's pretty insane. It's going to grant you the ability to attack twice during your battle phase. And not only that, but if your opponent activates a monster effect, depending on whose turn it is, you get a different effect. If it's during your turn, you get to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck. If it's during your opponent's turn, you get to special summon a level 11 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your extra deck. So that is pretty insane. So now we're going to get ourselves our Gladiator Beast Charge, which is arguably worth running now, just because now we can pop a bunch of cards out of this. And so this is a pretty insane combo, as of course we have 2 copies of Domitianus. We have our Heraclinos here, so Domitianus, those are both monster negates. Heraclinos, which is a spell trap negate for every card that we have in our hand. And then we can use Claudius' effect, get out whatever Gladiator Beast monster we want. And with Shurik's effect, if this card is special summon, or if another Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster is special summoned to your field, you can banish 1 card in the field. So that's pretty insane. And of course we have our Gladiator Beast Charge here that's able to pop a bunch of cards on the board. Pretty insane setup for a 2.5 card combo. So let's go to the next combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so the second combo I'm showing you is a 2 card combo using Primite Roar and our new Test Bear, which is pretty cool to see. So we're going to activate the effect of our Primite Roar here, which is nice because you can just special summon an Andal from your deck. That's exactly what we're going to do. And then because we control a Gladiator Beast monster, we can special summon out Test Bear here. And you can tribute this card and shuffle 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or face the field into a deck or extra deck. and special summon up to 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck, and it is treated as a Gladiator Beast monster effect. So again, just an incredible new card here for the Gladiator Beast that just really helps solve a lot of the problems here. And so we're going to go into the Attorix and the Magister. Magister here, we're going to get ourselves the Gladiator Rejection. So this is what I was telling you guys, is that Gladiator Beast Magister is able to search out a Gladiator spell or trap, not just Gladiator Beast. So Gladiator Rejection is finally searchable. So we're going to go into Test Panther, activate Test Panther's effect, get ourselves the comeback, go into the Attorix, use Test Panther's effect, recycle the Attorix here, get our Augustus, and of course use Rejection just to get another level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monster. That's exactly what we're going to do, and link Fusion Summon, Contact Fuse into our Tamer Editor and go into Domitianus. Then we can link away and go to the Darius that is able to special summon out a Gladiator Beast monster. And of course we're going to go into our Equeste here so that we're able to recycle the comeback. Then we can get our Augustus, which is a pretty cool attack, our battle phase type monster. Then we're going to go into our Tamer Editor, activate its effect here, go into Domitianus. We're going to get our second copy of Darius here. So this is just so that you're able to fill up your grave with a bunch of Gladiator Beast monsters, so that we're able to go into of course, the new Claudius. Activate the effect of Claudius here, which just lets you attack twice during your battle phase. If this is relevant, obviously you want to activate that. This is the first turn, doesn't matter, so it's fine. And then here I'm just going to show you guys how you activate the effect of our Claudius here. So is when we activate the effect of Claudius, just to get ourselves our Heraclinos, so we can do a spell trap negate. And of course we could have negated some of these with our Domitianus, and pretty incredible setup here with the 2 monster negates, the spell trap negates equal to the cards to your hand, and then the Gladiator Rejection here that makes it so your opponent cannot target Gladiator Beast monsters you control except during the battle phase. So that's going to be very annoying for your opponent to have to deal with. But let's go to the third combo that I have for you guys. Okay guys, so the third combo that I have for you is a 1-card combo using Rescue Cat. So we're going to normal summon our Rescue Cat, activate its effect here in order to get ourselves our 2 copies of Magister. Then we can link away and go into Darius, activate its effect, get Magister out, then activate Magister's effect, get ourselves our Gladiator Proving Ground, then activate the effect of Test Panther here to get ourselves our Gladiator Beast Noxious. Use the Proving Grounds here, then with Magister we're able to bring these 2 out. Then we can use Noxious effect here just to pitch a Gladiator Beast monster so that we can use it later on for our Claudius. And activate the effect of Test Panther in order to get Attorix and pitch our Augustus. Then we can Contact Fuse into our Tamer Editor. Then bring out our Domitianus. And then from here we can we can Fusion Summon into our Claudius here by using the materials in the graveyard. And so here we end up with our board of our Claudius, our Domitianus, and our Heraclinos. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing setup for just 1 card. And let's go to the next combo that I have for you guys. Okay guys, so the fourth combo that I have for you is a 2-card combo using Unexpected Die and Test Bear. So we're going to activate our Unexpected Die, get ourselves our Andal. Then we're going to special summon out our Test Bear, activate its effect here. Get ourselves our Attorix and our Magister. Attorix effect, pitch the Equeste. Magister's effect, search out the Rejection. Activate Rejection. Go into the Test Panther here. Then we can activate our Gladiator Beast comeback, get out the Attorix, use Test Panther to put it back into the deck, and get ourselves our Noxious. And then from here, we're basically going to get 2 level 5 monsters, pitch the Andal. Use the effect, then go into our Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor. Then with Tamer Editor, we can go into Domitianus. Then with Darius, we can go into Equeste. From there, we can recycle our comeback, go into our Augustus, activate the effect of comeback, get ourselves our Tamer Editor. Then we can use Tamer Editor's effect, get our Heraclinos, and then we can use the materials that are in the grave as well with our Augustus and get ourselves our Claudius. As you're able to set up with a Claudius that is able to get you a Domitianus during your opponent's turn, our Heraclinos here, our Domitianus, of course, and then the Gladiator Rejection that's going to protect you from targets. And now let's go to the final combo that I have for you guys. Okay guys, so the final combo that I have for you is a 2-card combo using Gladiator Beast Magister and Gladiator Beast Attorix. So we're going to activate the effect of Magister to get out our Attorix. Activate the effect of Attorix here, pitch the Augustus, get our comeback, and then we can bring out the Augustus. So here it's going to look similar to our first combo, but we're going to change it up a little bit near the end. So we're going to get our Tamer Editor here, get our Domitianus. activate Test Panther to get the Equeste. We also don't have that extra card that we had before, just for the field spell. And so we're going to have to change it up from there. So we're going to activate Darius' effect, get our Equeste, recycle the comeback, get out our Test Panther, use the effect of Tamer Editor to get out our Claudius. Then we're going to use Test Panther's effect here in order to put our Tamer Editor back into the deck, but we can get out Darius. So now we can activate Darius' effect in order to get ourselves a Equeste. And then Equeste will try to target something, but obviously it cannot. And go into our IP Masquerena. So with here, we're set up with a Heraclinos that's able to do some negates, our Domitianus, and then we have our IP Masquerena that is able to link away during your opponent's turn in order to go into your SP Little Knight and banish something. There's just another option for you guys to consider. Get started here with 2 copies of Andal. So Andal is still a great Gladiator Beast monster. We have less of a reliance on it as we did before. Before, you would just utilize whatever you could to get this out in order to go into a quick Test Panther, just because it was easy to kind of cycle through this card. We still kind of do that using our Primite Roar, but it's not as important, so we only run 2 copies of it. And then we have 2 copies of Gladiator Beast Augustus. This card is very important because it is a level 5 or higher Gladiator Beast monster, so it's great if we want to go into our Tamer Editor. Pretty essential for that. Not only that, but Gladiator Beast Augustus, when it's special summoned using the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you're able to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster from your hand in defense position. It's just a really great extender that also helps you go into your Tamer Editor, which is where we mainly want to go into. Also, I want you guys to know that Gladiator Beast monsters is a pretty ancient archetype, so a lot of the old Gladiator Beast monsters here actually have soft once per turns, so we're able to utilize that and pretty much abuse it if you see it on the combos. 1 copy of Darius is great because you can get a Gladiator Beast monster, get it out from the grave onto the board. This is great for link summoning. Then we have 1 copy of Equeste. So Equeste is very important, at least having that 1 copy, just so that we could recycle our Gladiator Beast comeback and then being able to special summon out more fusion monsters by getting Tamer Editor. Again, a lot of soft once per turns, so we want to use the Equeste here to utilize that. 1 copy of Bestiari isn't as powerful as it used to be, but it's still great because we do want to go into our guy Darius as it's able to pop 2 cards on the board, so we do want to have the 1 copy. Then we have 2 copies of Test Bear. This is the new Gladiator Beast monster. If you control a Gladiator Beast monster that was special summon from the deck or extra deck, you can summon this card from your hand, and then you can tribute this card and shuffle 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or face up on the field in order to special summon up to 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck, and this is treated as a Gladiator Beast monster effect. So you can see this is a very powerful effect. It's basically getting you 2 Gladiator Beast triggers out. That's very solid, as not only will you be able to get those effects out, but you can choose which Gladiator Beast you want to go into, making it easier to go into a Tamer Editor. You're going to see in the combos video that you're actually able to utilize this. Then we have 3 copies of Gladiator Beast Attorix. So we used to run 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Attorix, but now because of our Magister here, it's pretty essential to have it at 3, just because you're able to pitch something, do some level modulation, and it makes it very easy to go into Tamer Editor once you have Magister. So you really want to see that in the combos video, just so that you're able to see how you're able to utilize it and why you want to run the 3 copies. Then we have 3 copies of Mulcharmy Fuwalos. This is just great, just so we can punish our opponents. Let Baby Maxi here, as you're able to just draw a bunch of cards if your opponent is special summoning from the deck and their extra deck. So basically just a hand trap of choice. And then we have 3 copies of the Gladiator Beast Magister. This is probably the best new Gladiator Beast monster we got, as you can reveal this card and 1 other Gladiator Beast monster in your hand and special summon both. And if this card is special summoned by the effect of a Gladiator Beast monster, you can add 1 Gladiator spell trap for your deck to your hand. So 2 important things to note here. It's a Gladiator Beast monster, so it's able to special summon out another Gladiator Beast, trigger its effect. Amazing. Not only that, it doesn't say anything about his effect not triggering, not being able to trigger his own effect. So you can just special summon himself, and then from there search out a spell or trap. Just an amazing card that provides so much value for the deck. 3 copies of Ash Blossom because it's Ash Blossom. 2 copies of Gladiator Beast Comeback. You want to being able to monster reborn these monsters. They also can't be destroyed by battle. Keep that in mind. Sometimes that's relevant. You can beat into one of your opponent's monsters and then switch into whatever you may need in the deck. Not only that, keep note that you can only special summon a Gladiator Beast monster for your hand or grave with a different type from the monsters you control. So make sure to keep note of that, because obviously Tamer Editor is our usual target for this. It's a Beast Warrior, and that's why usually you don't want to go into Heraclinos in the beginning, because then you can't get it out using comeback. So you definitely want to stick to everything else that is not Beast Warrior until the very end, and then get out your Heraclinos. Then we have 2 copies of Triple Tactic Talents. You can go second, and if your opponent is playing during your turn, you can punish that. 3 copies of Gladiator Proving Ground. Searcher, amazing, as not only that, but you're able to search out Magister here, as it's a level 4 lower Gladiator Beast monster, so pretty insane. One copy of Caught by the Grave because hand traps suck for this deck, but it's okay, we'll find ways to deal with it. Primite Roar, I explained this, you want to go into the search out the Andal. 2 copies of Gladiator Rejection, it makes it so your Gladiator Beast monsters cannot be targeted, but not only that, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck with a different type from the monsters you control when you do special summon out a Gladiator Beast monster. And this card got a buff because now we're able to search it out using Gladiator Beast Magister, as it's able to search out any Gladiator spell or trap. Just amazing. And here we have Flavius, Arena of the Gladiator Beast. You can discard 1 card, add 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck to your hand, and when an opponent monster declares an attack, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, and if you do, it cannot be destroyed by battle. And then during the end phase, if a Gladiator Beast monster was special summoned from the deck this turn, which is very easy to do, you can set 1 Gladiator trap from your deck to your hand. You can set 1 Gladiator trap from the deck. 3 very solid effects that you're able to use this as a searcher, being able to use it to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster, and then not only that, but setting a Gladiator trap. It's very solid because we do have 2 great options. Then we have 3 copies of Infinite Imperm, just another hand trap of choice. 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Charge. You can target face-up cards in the field up to a number of Gladiator Beast monsters you control with different name, destroy them. So you can flood your board with a bunch of Gladiator Beast monsters, use Charge here, pop a bunch of things on the board, and of course we can use our Arena of the Gladiator Beast to just search this out so we don't have to waste our searcher in the form of Magister, because that wouldn't be worth it. You usually just want to use this to get maybe your comeback or maybe your rejection, depending on what you have. And then the last card that I like running here is Gladiator Beast War Chariot. It's a monster negate for Gladiator Beast. Alright guys, before I go to the extra deck, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and consider becoming a patron, where you can help influence the channel and influence the type of content I create while supporting me directly. But let's get started here with 2 copies of the new Gladiator Beast Claudius. So this Gladiator Beast monster is pretty insane here. It's a special summon from your extra deck by shuffling the above cards from your field and or grave into the deck / extra deck. So you're going to be able to pitch a bunch of Glad Beasts into the grave and actually use this effect, which is very nice. Obviously with Glad Beasts, your fusion materials are being sent into the deck anyways. So it is a bit of a challenge, as you're able to you're going to need to really link summon into things in order to fill up your grave. You're going to be able to do that with the new Gladiator Beast Link monster. That's pretty great. And besides that, once you get Claudius here, it's going to give you 2 battle phases, which is pretty insane for Gladiator Beast. Obviously, for obvious reasons, you're going to be able to just beat over your opponent using this. And then if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can activate the appropriate effect depending on whose turn it is. So if it's your turn, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck, which is amazing, as of course you're able to extend from there. But if it's your opponent's turn, you can special summon 1 level 11 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. So usually your opponent's going to activate something, boom, get out Domitianus, or boom, get out Heraclinos, and now there's an extra negate that you're able to stack onto the negates you already have on the board. 2 copies of Domitianus. He's still a monster negate. Again, soft once per turn, so you can have multiple copies of this and utilize it. You can also control the battles, which is also, I think, an underutilized part of this card that's very strong. 1 copy of Heraclinos, Spell Trap Negate, up to the cards that you have in your hand, so pretty insane. 2 copies of Tamer Editor to bring these guys out, and very easy to get out himself. Darius, of course, being able to pop 2 cards on the board. And another thing that is kind of underutilized with this card is that at the end of the battle phase, if this card battled, you can return it to special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck. Darius is one of those that you actually, after you use him, you want to get rid of him. So first, special summon him out, maybe use the Tamer Editor, and then pop 2 cards on the board, attack with Darius, then get them out and get 2 other Gladiator Beast monsters. And then from there, you can go into whatever you want, maybe another Tamer Editor. Then we have 1 copy of Tri-Brigade Shureg, the Ominous Omen. It's very easy to get out. If you summon a Beast, Beast Warrior, Wing Beast onto the board, you're going to be able to banish a card in the field, non-target, non-destructive form of removal. And then we have 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Dragosis. This requires 2 Gladiator Beast monsters to get out. If a Gladiator Beast monster you control attacks, it cannot be destroyed by that battle. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So if you get this out and go straight into your battle phase, if you already have control of the battle from there on, it's pretty difficult for your opponent to play past that. And at the end of the battle phase, this card battled, you can return it to the extra deck and special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters with different names from your deck. So what's nice is that you can link 2 of your Glad Beasts, get this out, and then attack with it, and then get 2 more Gladiator Beasts on the board, just to make it a lot easier to go into your Claudius. And then we have 2 copies of the new Gladiator Beast Darius. So if this card is Link Summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your hand or grave, or if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon 1 Gladiator Beast monster from your deck instead. So an extender built into this Link monster, very nice. And also Gladiator Beast monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects during your opponent's battle phase, which isn't super relevant all the time, but as usually you're just going to use this, bring something on the board, and then extend. But that's still good to have. 1 copy of SP Little Knight in case we need to banish something on the board, and 2 copies of Test Panther. I do like that this deck has become, you still want to go into the Test Panther, but at least it's not as much of a choke point as it used to be. Before, Test Panther, if you got this out and they ashed Test Panther, that's kind of GG. That would be it. It sucked a lot. But now we actually have ways to kind of play around that, and it's very cool to see Gladiator Beast actually get very solid support. We're gonna get started here with a 3-card combo that requires just Fractal, but a Beast, Winged Beast, or Beast Warrior monster to discard, and then any card to discard. So here we're gonna get started. So we're gonna activate Fractal, use the effects. This is the usual Tri-Brigade effect here. You're gonna be, if you guys aren't aware, let me just let this play out. Usually with Tri-Brigade, you want to go into Fractal, then go into Kit, which then pitches Nerval, and then Nerval would then add to your hand Karis. And now we can use Karis' effect, discard whatever monster we have there in order to get it out. Then we can link away these 4. So Tri-Brigade monsters, you link summon by banishing monsters in the graveyard. So we're going to be doing exactly that in order to special summon out Tri-Brigade, Shireg, the Ominous Omen. Then we're going to link away and go into our Farrajet. And now because we do have 4 monsters that are banished, we can actually search out our Rescue Cat. Now we can use Farrajet's effect in order to special summon out the Rescue Cat, then use the effect here in order to get 2 copies of Magister, and then link away into our Test Panther, activate Test Panther's effect and the Farrajet. This doesn't really matter, but it could matter depending on the hand that you have. You just want to see, draw it, and then you have to put a card back, so that could be useful at times. But otherwise we're going to use Test Panther's effect here in order to get ourselves the Colosseum. We're going to activate the Colosseum, then use Test Panther's effect here in order to get ourselves the Equeste. Activate Equeste's effect in order to special out or add our Magister back to our hand. Now we can use our Colosseum here to discard a card. That's why we just needed the 1 card to discard in order to get our Attorix. Now we're going to special summon out our Magister and our Attorix. And if you guys have seen the previous combo video, you know that this is an important combo. So once you have these 2, you can really start popping off. And so here we're going to be able to pitch the Augustus in order to level modulate and search out our Gladiator Beast comeback. Then we can link away and go into Darius. Activate the effect of comeback in order to get Augustus out onto the board. Then contact fuse into Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor. Activate Tamer Editor's effect in order to get the Domitianus. Then get ourselves a 2nd copy of Darius and actually use the effect this time. In order to get the Equeste, use Equeste's effect in order to get the comeback. Then we're going to link away and go into our Gladiator Beast Dragosis. And this is just because you don't want to have a Beast Warrior on the field, so that you can use comeback here in order to bring out our Tamer Editor. Now we can activate Tamer Editor's effect in order to get our Heraclinos. Link away, go into the SP Little Knight. Obviously, if there's a target there, you can banish something on your opponent's side of the board. Otherwise, you can fuse using the cards in your graveyard, recycle materials, and get yourself the Claudius. And then use our Field Spell's effect in order to get our Gladiator Beast charge. And so here we end up with a pretty powerful end board. We had the SP Little Knight that was able to banish something on the board. A Domitianus here that is able to control the battles, but also be able to negate a monster effect. Claudius here that is able, if our opponent tries to activate an effect, we can special summon a level 11 or lower Gladiator Beast monster from your deck. So you have a good amount of options there. You can get another Domitianus or a Heraclinos. Usually you just want to get the Domitianus. You could also get Darius if you know how to time that. And then we have Tamer Editor here that can't be destroyed by battle, which can be annoying if your opponent isn't able to play through the other things. And then we have Heraclinos here that is able to negate spells or traps by discarding a card. So obviously you're going to have more cards in your hand, so from there you can be able to discard it in order to use that effect. And then Gladiator Beast Charge here in order to pop 4 cards on the board. And of course we have our Field Spell here that was able to enable these plays, and also set this Gladiator Beast Charge. But otherwise, let's go to the second combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, the second combo that I have for you is using Tri-Brigade Fractal and Tri-Brigade Karis. So we're going to activate the Fractal here and do the same combo that I showed you guys. It's just standard Tri-Brigade play. Then we're going to use Karis' effect in order to discard the Fractal and get ourselves the Karis. Then we can link away or use the effect here in order to special summon out our Shurag. Now we can link away into our Farrajet, and because we do have our Shurag here and 4 banished cards, we're going to be able to use the effect here in order to get ourselves the Rescue Cat. then bring it back out, just like we did in the previous combo. Now, just to make sure that we're kind of aware of this, is utilizing one less card. So it's going to look similar, but we're utilizing one less card and doing a different play here. So we're going to go into our Test Panther, activate its effect, get our Attorix, then use the effect here in order to get Augustus. Now we can activate Augustus' effect in order to special summon out the Attorix. Then with Attorix effect, we can pitch the Augustus, level modulate, and go into Tamer Editor. Now Tamer Editor will give us the Domitianus. Then we can go into our Darius, activate the effect of Darius here in order to bring out the Magister. And because that is a Gladiator Beast effect, we're going to be able to get out our Gladiator Beast comeback. Then we can get our Draguses here. Now we can activate the effect of Gladiator Beast comeback in order to get ourselves our Tamer Editor and get ourselves Domitianus. Then we're going to link away into Darius. It's just, most of the time you're going to see in a lot of these combos, you're going to want to go into Darius a second time, and that's because it gets you another Gladiator Beast monster on the board, and so that makes it a lot easier to go into the Claudius. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go into Claudius here, and of course I activated the effect that lets you attack twice in a battle phase, which obviously isn't relevant at this point unless you're going second here. But besides that, you end up with two Domitianus and a Claudius here that's able to get out your Heraclinos during your opponent's turn. A pretty powerful combo for just 2 cards. Now let's go to the third combo that I have for you guys. Before I continue the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a Patreon where you can help support the channel while also influencing the content I create. The link will be in the description, so make sure to check it out. Alright guys, so the third combo that I have for you is a 1-card combo that does utilize the battle phase. So we're going to be activating Fractal. Use the effect, again, standard tri-brigade play. Doing this exactly, get ourselves our Fractal here instead of the Carousel because we don't have a card to discard and thus we don't really need to. And we can go into our Fractal instead and get ourselves our Gladiator Beast Draguses. Then now here we go into the battle phase, activate the effect of Draguses. So this is why Draguses is pretty powerful and I think a lot of times it's underutilized because its effect here makes it where you have pretty much control of the battle phase. As Gladiator Beast monsters you control that attack cannot be destroyed by battle, and your opponent can activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So it makes it very difficult for your opponent to interact with your things during the battle phase, but obviously you're going to be able to attack and they can't be destroyed, and so you can beat into things that are a lot bigger and be able to utilize your Gladiator Beast effects. We're going to be doing exactly that, and you attack here with Draguses. Then we can use his effect here at the end of the battle phase in order to get ourselves our Magister and our Noxious. Activate its effect here, get ourselves our Gladiator Rejection, and pitch the Vespasius here. Then go into our Test Panther and activate the Rejection here. Then we can use the effect of Test Panther in order to get our Gladiator Beast comeback. Then we're going to get our Vespasius, get rid of it using the Test Panther, and use Equeste. And we can get our comeback here, and then Rejection's effect will let us get the Vespasius back out onto the board. Now we can contact Fuse into our Tamer Editor, use the effect here in order to get Domitianus. And then go into our SP Little Knight, which would then be able to banish something on the board. Go into our Tamer Editor, get our Domitianus. Then go into Darius here. Activate Darius' effect in order to get our Equeste. Equeste's effect in order to get the Gladiator Beast comeback. Go into our Draguses that we put back into the extra deck. Then we activate Comeback's effect here in order to get our Tamer Editor. And then get Heraclinos out. Link away and go into Darius. And now here... we could have obviously ended with just I did put it back into the extra deck, but our Draguses here could have been there, and that would have been an okay way to end the combo. But I just wanted to get out the Darius just so that I could show you guys how you can get Claudius out, and thus you end out with a 1-card combo that utilizes the battle phase, which is what Gladiator Beasts are supposed to be using anyways. You end up with an SP Little Knight, 2 Domitianus, a Gladiator Rejection, which makes it so your opponent cannot target Gladiator Beast monsters you controls. Claudius here that's able to get out another Gladiator Beast monster and just put it in this extra monster zone. Obviously you could have put Claudius in the extra monster zone instead if you did want to utilize his effect during your turn. Besides that, it's still very powerful and you can still put it in the extra monster zone. And Heraclinos for the spells and trap negates. Pretty insane for a 1-card combo. And now let's go to the final combo that I have for you guys. Alright guys, so the final combo that I have for you is a 2-card combo using 1 Fractal and then a Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster. So here, Fractal, standard tri-brigade combo here that you guys must know it by memory by now. It's because how many times we've been doing it. We're going to be activating Kara's effect, get it out. Now we can manage those 4, go into the Shurag. Then with the Shurag here, we can just go into our Zelantis, because Zelantis here, if you guys aren't aware, just requires 1 effect monster, which is pretty insane. Now we can use Shurag's effect in order to get our Rescue Cat. Normal summon the Rescue Cat, activate its effect in order to get the 2 copies of Magister, or I can see now his name is now Gistel. Now we're going to be using the effect of Zealantis in order to just reset the positions of our monsters here. We want to get the World Dragon Zealantis here just on this side of the board because it makes it a lot easier to do co-links. Now we can use the effect of Test Panther in order to get Attorix, and use Test Panther's effect in order to get Augustus out onto the board. Use the effect here in order to get Attorix, then pitch whatever Gladiator Beast monster you want in order to level modulate as long as it's level 5 or higher. Then we can go into our Tamer Editor. Activate the effect of Tamer Editor in order to get Domitianus. Then we can go into our Darius. Activate Darius' effect in order to get our Gistel. Then go into our Dragosis. Activate the effect of Gladiator Beast Comeback in order to get Tamer Editor. And then get our Heraclinos out and link away into our SP Little Knight. And this will just give us the right amount of materials for us to go into a Claudius. And then we can use a Claudius effect here to give us the additional battle phase, but obviously during your opponent's turn, just like I told you with the other combo, we're going to be able to get another Gladiator Beast monster. So we end out here with a Domitianus, a Tamer Editor that cannot be destroyed by battle, a Claudius here that's able to get out possibly a Heraclinos if you'd like, World Dragon Zealantis that's able to pop 2 cards on the field because we do have 2 cards that are co-linked here. Then we have SP Little Knight, of course, that was able to banish a card on the board. Run 1 copy of Augustus. I think the 1 copy is all you really need here. I do like having the 2nd copy, but we do need to make space for Tri-Brigade, so I'm willing to cut that out. 1 copy of Noxius here. It enables some certain plays. This is a great pitch target as well. So we're okay with adding the extra copy here. We have 3 copies of Fractal, which obviously is necessary for the combo. And here, I guess we can go over the 2 kits and the 2 Nervals. Tri-Brigade package, kind of standard here. I've seen some people cut these down to 1, but I like the consistency of having them all at least 2 here. So I'm okay with just running it at these numbers. 1 copy of Darius to bring something back onto the board. It's nothing too crazy, but we can still run the 1 copy. Equeste here is super powerful as it's able to recycle Gladiator Beast Comeback, and so obviously we want to be running the 1 copy. You don't really need more than 1 as you can recycle this very easily. 1 copy of Bestiari. This is in case you need to go into your guy Darius. It's very easy to get this out. It's powerful in case you need to pop a spell or trap. It's not really our main way of getting guy Darius out, but it can come in handy here and there. 1 copy of Attorix here as you're able to level modulate. So this card is very strong as I covered with the Gladiator Beast combos that are the pure Gladiator Beast combos. Attorix is still very powerful here. And even though we're not running at 3 copies, I think at 1 copy though, it's still very good. 1 copy of Rescue Cat. And this is great because you can just get out your 2 copies of Gistel here. And so, yeah, Rescue Cat obviously synergizes really well with Gladiator Beast here, Tri-Brigade here as well, as you're able to get out 1 copy of Magister or 1 copy of Kit, and then just fill up your grave with a bunch of Tri-Brigade monsters. 3 copies of the Hand Trap Mulcharmy Fuwalos. This card is very powerful. It's just a little watered down maxi, but it's still very strong. It's also a winged beast, which can be relevant at times. Gladiator Beast Gistel here. This card is might be arguably the best Gladiator Beast monster here, as you're able to reveal it and one Gladiator Beast monster in your hands, but summon both. So not only will that activate the Gladiator Beast monster effect, but also activate his effect, which will let you add a Gladiator spell trap from your deck to your hand. So yeah, definitely a 3 of. 3 copies of Ash Blossom because it's Ash Blossom, 1 copy of Karis. So here I forgot to mention Karis is the only one we have at 1, which I'm totally okay with. It's able to special summon itself out, but we can just, if we need to, we can go into Farragut and bring out our other Tri-Brigade monsters in order to continue extending our plays. 2 copies of Gladiator Beast Comeback that is able to just kind of abuse Tamer Editor here and use the effect multiple times because he has a soft once per turn. 3 copies of Gladiator Proving Ground because it'll let us search out whatever Gladiator Beast we may need, and it's an amazing target for Gistel here now. So we definitely want to run 3 copies of that. 1 copy of Caught by the Grave because of hand traps. 3 copies of Fire Formation Tenki because we want to search out our Fractal, so we definitely want to have 3 copies of that. 1 copy of Gladiator Rejection. This is in case we need to special summon out we can use Test Method's effect and get out an extra monster. Makes it a lot easier to go into Tamer Editor and continue the combos. Also, it's nice because your Gladiator Beast monsters cannot be targeted. 2 copies of the new Flavian Colosseum of the Gladiator Beast. This card being able to discard 1 card in order to add a Gladiator Beast monster from your deck to your hand. It just makes the deck a lot more consistent, and it's able to search out our Gladiator Beast Charge and put it onto the board. 3 copies of Imperm because it's Imperm, and 1 copy of Gladiator Beast Charge that's able to be searched out, like I said, with the Colosseum, and it's able to pop a bunch of cards on the board. Before I continue the video, I just wanted to let you guys know that I have a Patreon where you can help support the channel while also influencing the content I create. The link will be in the description, so make sure to check it out. And for the extra deck here, it's pretty much the same as the pure build. I just changed one thing, but we're gonna go over here. Claudius, of course, the new boss monster, very strong. I really like running it at 2, but 1 copy is still good, and it's going to allow us to recycle a bunch of things. And yeah, just the 1 copy is nice. Domitianus, we're easily able to get multiple copies of this card, so I want to run multiple copies of this, as it's a soft once per turn monster negate. 1 copy of Heraclinos, as it's a spell trap negate, and we only need the 1 copy because it could just keep negating by discarding. And then we have 2 copies of Tamer Editor that's able to bring out our Gladiator Beast monsters very easily. Geyseris able to pop 2 monsters on the board, and not only that, an underutilized part of this card is that when it battles, you can return it and special summon 2 Gladiator Beast monsters from your deck. Some of these Gladiator Beast monsters, they just don't have that powerful effect. Here, Domitianus, when it attacks, is only able to special summon out 1 Gladiator Beast monster. So Geyseris being able to bring out 2, and then, so what's cool about this, contact Fuse, go into Tamer Editor, go into Geyseris, pop 2 cards on the board, Geyseris attack in the battle phase, and then get them out, and get out 2 Gladiator Beast monsters that are level 5 or higher, and then go into another Tamer Editor and being able to get out potentially another Geyseris, pop 2 other cards on the board. It's just very cool, very easy to utilize, and it's a card that's underutilized, I feel, a lot of the time, but it's very strong. 1 copy of Shurag, because Shurag, you're able to banish a card on the board, and also it's able to search out Rescue Cat. Gladiator Beast Dragosis is very powerful and also underutilized. It really leans in on what Gladiator Beast was intentionally intended for, and again, able to special summon out 2 Gladiator Beast monsters with different names for your deck. So if you guys haven't seen the combo for this card, you should check it out. It's very insane. It's going to be in the top right corner, like I said in the beginning of the video. 2 copies of Darius. It's able to special summon out a Gladiator Beast monster. Very strong. We like having the 2nd copy because it makes it a lot easier to go into Claudius. 1 copy of Farragut, as it's able to special summon a level 4 Lord Beast, Beast Warrior, or Winged Beast monster for your hand. Usually Rescue Cat is a target for that. 1 copy of SP Little Knight, it's SP Little Knight, and 2 copies of Test Panther. It's able to search out a Gladiator Beast card, and not only that, but it's able to special summon a Gladiator Beast monster with a different name by targeting one of your Gladiator Beast monsters on the board and put it back into the deck. Very strong and easy to utilize here, and Test Panther is still very good. And the nice thing about this deck is that it just doesn't rely on it as much as it used to. This used to be the crux of the deck. If you could just hit this card, that'd be GG. Now you can kind of continue playing through that. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to check out the pure combos and pure deck profile for Gladiator Beast if you are interested in that. Or just check out the combos for this build. Like I said, it's in the top right corner. But otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.